Is Jon Jones in for a big surprise, and can Michael Chandler learn from his mistakes? Before I make my predictions for UFC 309, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. So fight week is here and we've got some incredibly exciting fights on this card. I'm going to make my predictions for the main, the co-main and the featured bout because I don't really care about the rest of this card.
Casual.
So let's take a look at the main card. In the main event, we have the defending heavyweight champion Jon Jones facing arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time in Stipe Miocic. And on paper, this sounds like one of the best fights of all time. Heavyweight GOAT versus light heavyweight GOAT. Everything is on the line. But Stipe is old as fuck now, and we've got this young interim champion who isn't getting his fair shot. And that's the big problem with this fight, is just everyone's questioning why is Tom not fighting Jon Jones. And it's a real shame because I really want to be excited about this fight. And, you know, arguably we've got three of the best heavyweights of all time. Francis Ngannou, Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, all ready to fight each other, and we'll probably never get to see those fights happen, and it's genuinely such a shame. But I'll stop crying about the heavyweight division and the mess it's in, and I'll actually make my prediction. So Jon Jones is new to the heavyweight division. He's only ever fought Cyril Gane, and honestly it was just a pure domination. It was clear Cyril had no clue at all what he was doing on the ground, especially not against someone so high level as Jon. And Jon's grappling is 100% his path to victory in this fight. You know, now that he's heavyweight, I don't think he can risk standing on the feet. I think he just gets caught once and it's all over against these big guys. It's just, that's the real problem with this division. It's really dangerous. And Stipe is no joke on the feet. He has high level boxing, and sure, he's much older now though, but KO power is always one of the last things to go, and he's proved that he's got great takedown defense. So if Stipe can keep it on the feet, he might have a very nasty surprise for Jones. But I think his age is going to play a huge factor into this. He can only defend for so long before it's all over for him, isn't it? So I'm going to pick Jon Jones by maybe a third or fourth round KO. I think Jones is just going to shoot on loop constantly for this whole fight, tire Stipe down, get hold of him, take him down, get top mount and just start raining big bombs on him. And I think he might even get a 12-6 elbow because he's hungry for that and he wants to avenge his one and only loss. So I think that's the way it's going to go down. I think third, fourth round KO for Jon Jones. Now we have a rematch, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Charles did KO Chandler in their previous bout, but let's not forget, Chandler did drop Olives in that first round, and he won the first round and he looked fantastic doing it. But the big issue with Chandler is he crumbles under pressure, and when he's hurt and he's backing up, he can't quite stay composed, whereas Oliveira gets dropped more than Paige Van Zant's knickers, and he's so used to being on his back all the time, like Paige Van Zant. But jokes aside, we've seen him in trouble a lot, and when he's in trouble, he manages to though pull it back and get the win. And I think that's what's going to make that big difference in this fight. Who can adjust the most to the other person and who can stay composed? Chandler is incredibly explosive and he's got an extremely entertaining fighting style, and he's willing to put it all on the line and put himself in danger. But the issue is when you put yourself in danger against a killer, you're going to get caught. And usually lightning doesn't strike twice, but I think history is going to repeat itself in this fight, and I think Charles Oliveira is going to win by second round KO. But a quick caveat to that though, if Chandler stays aggressive in the first round and keeps putting that pressure on and just keeps chasing him down, he might be able to get Oliveira out of there. We finally move on to Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. I'm a huge fan of Paul Craig and I always support British fighters, but let's face it, he's a bit crap. You know, he's lost, what, 4 of his last 5 fights. He's in his late 30s and he's got a big weight cut down to 185. Whereas Bo is young, he's hungry, he's a very talented prospect, and he's a world-class wrestler. He's got pretty good jiu-jitsu, and he's shown that he's willing to improve his striking, and he's got some KO power. But I don't think that striking is really going to come into play here because it's not going to stay on the feet. Paul Craig is the only person I know who sets up his submissions by getting punched in the head. So Paul is willing to take it to the ground because that's where he excels. But I think with Bo's scrambling speed and his high level wrestling, I think he's going to snatch Paul's neck and I think he's going to submit him early on, maybe the first round. And it pains me to say it because honestly, like I said before, I love Paul Craig and I'd love to see him beat Bo, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Overall though, this card is very top heavy, but those fights at the top are incredibly exciting. It's just a shame that the rest of the card is a bit crap. Thank you everyone for watching. That's been my predictions for UFC 309. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.